Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I urge you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week. My co-host, who is back from assignment, is not only a Texas real estate broker. He is a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and he's the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand, known on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, and down South as the Texas Real Estate King. Back from parts unknown, let's give it up for my partner, co-host, and friend, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's shaking, brother?
I love it, man. I ain't got no complaints, Rick. Listen, that introduction right there was fire. Like, we need Pure Hustle Appreciation Day, Client Appreciation Day often if this is what it sounds like, man.
Bro, man, look, when you miss a week, Larry, all I get in the inbox is, where Larry? What he doing? When he coming back?
Man.
So when you come back, man, I got to double down on the intro, brother, man. So it's good to have you, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, all the new subscribers, everybody that's, really joining the fam or joining the winning team when it comes to Prime Real Estate Network. So we appreciate that. And, man, I ain't got no complaints, man. You know, we started, my man Danger created and started this. We came up with this brand about, January 2019?
Right.
And it's just been fire ever since, man. Just like people are really gravitating towards it because they understand hustle is not what it used to be, right?
Right.
Hustle used to be a negative consultation. Now, when we use it, it's the pure hustle.
Right.
And it embodies all of the brands. Most people are serial entrepreneurs now. They have different occupations or different things that they're using. They may have a full-time job but have a side hustle. So these things are tying together to make pure hustle. So that's where it comes from.
I know I've never asked you this question on the show before, but one of the things about the Pure Hustle brand that I am proud of as far as watching you push it and market it for the last 2 years is that being in the real estate space that we're in, professional real estate brokers and agents and realtors don't always get looked at as a trendsetter or a tastemaker from that standpoint.
Wow.
And that's one of the things that I get as far as feedback a lot as far as the brand and how you've pushed it forward, that I think that if I don't mention it, you may not necessarily realize is that there's not a lot of people in the real estate space that can market and promote a clothing brand the way that you have. So
I appreciate that.
What have you gotten in the last couple years out of jumping out and marketing something totally different than the real estate and stuff we've been marketing for the past 20 years?
Yeah, man, it's crazy because, when I started out 20 years in real estate, I did have a suit and tie on. Then I went to a polo with a real estate logo. And then I ran into an influencer, E.T., the hip-hop preacher. And when he would do his presentations, it wasn't formal. It was like, let me throw a ball cap on and a T-shirt. And I was like, you know what? We're sliding into a culture that if you know your profession, if you're an amazing realtor, then people are gonna look past the ideal of you having a great ball cap on and a T-shirt and want to be a part of that brand. And that's kind of what took off. That's how it took off right there.
Hey, man, well, because we have to, and we live.
Yeah.
Shout out the website and where everybody can get that Pure Hustle on Pure Hustle Customer Appreciation Day.
Listen, on Pure Hustle Appreciation Day, and there's discounts and specials on there as well. I like to give back. So with that being said, go to shoplwb.com, shoplwb.com. You'll be able to take a look at all of the things that we have actively going on in the Pure Hustle brand. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for the years that we've been rolling into and the years that we got coming, man.
Hey, man, today's episode is super. We're more than blessed and honored to have today's guest because on Pure Hustle and Pure Hustle Day, it's always in our best interest to be able to open up the Texas Real Estate King Black Book of Connects. And put
all the right people, man.
Put all those pure hustlers out there in contact with the very best in the real estate industry. And today, I am very proud to introduce not only a real estate developer, but he's also an investor, entrepreneur, and the owner of Grace Building Company. And thank you so very much for carving some time out of his busy Thursday. Pure Hustle, Prime Real Estate Network fam, please welcome our guest, Mr. Gilbert Okoronkwo. How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, thank y'all, man. Salute to y'all. I really appreciate the hospitality y'all have shown me here.
We thank you for coming in, bro.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for A, supporting the podcast, B, being Pure Hustle down on Pure
Yes,
Hustle.
sir. Yes, sir.
Surprise. It was just a surprise. No doubt about it.
This wasn't scripted.
It wasn't
The
scripted. My guy
synergy of all of
pulled in.
this is just, that's how you know, man, it's a higher calling for all of us, man.
Where's the origin of your last name?
So the origin of my last name is Nigerian. My family is from Amuvi section of Arochukwu in southeast Nigeria. We immigrated here in 1981 when I was 1. We've been between Chicago, Austin, Texas, and New Orleans, and then from New Orleans for me to Houston, Texas.
Man, that's a lot of culture, man. That's how
That's
how you pick up culture when you're doing traveling and stuff like that. That's how you pick up culture.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Now, and I want to make sure we get straight to it because unfortunately we don't have a lot of time with you today, man, Gilbert. But tell our audience about Grace Building Company and what it is that you guys do in your role as a real estate developer.
Okay, so Grace Building Company, that was basically a company, development real estate company that we started some years back. And what I do primarily is that we build income properties in these revitalizing communities, right? So across Houston, you have like Sunnyside, South Park, 3rd Ward, Trinity Gardens, Cashmere Gardens, 5th Ward. Yeah. We like to kind of cover that gamut. And one of the things we do specifically is we build income properties. And then we're very targeted and specific on who we sell to and who we kind of manage for and work to.
Yeah. Now, and see, what makes having you on the show so powerful is because, and I'm sure you know, and Larry and I deal with clients every day, there are open land lots, raw land, and older homes changing ownership possession daily.
Absolutely.
And there are real estate investors who are new to real estate investing, or they may be venturing out as far as a project that they have no experience in.
Absolutely.
So could you speak to our audience of real estate investors and those that are wanting to get involved in a commercial development standpoint, what they should be looking for when they're trying to figure out what type of company to work with from there?
So absolutely, that's a great question and an important question. So what you should look for to be very transparent is just partnerships. Right. Mm-hmm. You look for people that have done it, who are doing it still actively, and who have relationships with those who you may not have relationships. So I remember what it was like for me doing my first development project and how tumultuous it was, given that it was during the year of Hurricane Harvey, and we had all that going on. So I learned a lot, school of hard knocks, the do's and don'ts.
That was a real learning curve right there.
Absolutely.
Man. No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
And you spoke on it, Gilbert, as far as the neighborhoods in Houston that you guys are concentrating on, and those tend to be the areas that are targeted for gentrification.
Absolutely.
Could you speak to our audience about what gentrification is from a definition standpoint and how it's affecting those greater Houston areas where you're concentrating? Because I still believe, as much as Larry and I think that everyone understands the wealth transfer that's happening in Houston, I still think there are members of our community that are unaware of how much is happening, how quickly in those areas.
Absolutely. Well, just to get straight to it, gentrification or revitalization, that's basically, you have distressed areas or areas that are considered to be distressed, just basically change hands. And to be honest with you, quite honest with you, city leaders are motivated and they are incentivized by, turning that type of property over because, for the tax revenues and whatnot.
Exactly.
That's right.
So it's very important for us to maintain ownership in these communities and also develop mixed income communities. That's part of our mission. We've seen, dating back to New Orleans and growing up there in the 80s and 90s and to fast forward, hoods all across the country, what clusters of poverty does. Right. So it's our mission to help basically create these mixed income communities for Black and brown people to live in and thrive and also be the beneficiaries of the appreciation growth.
Man, that's powerful, man. Hold on. That right there, just that statement alone says so much about the growth that we need, because I remember years ago, halfway through my real estate career, just hearing about regentrification and it's coming to this area, coming to that area, but no one thought about how to put us up on game, right? So
right.
Just
Absolutely.
You and your team focusing on doing something like that is amazing, man, and that's gonna make all the difference in the world.
And I want to ask you this, Gilbert, because it's great to have someone with such a wealth of experience on the show, because I can ask you direct questions, get direct answers. You just spoke about how civic leaders are incentivized to have those properties transferred so they can make there's tax benefits for the city.
Absolutely.
For all of those that are going to hear this interview that have grandparents or parents that live in those targeted areas, what advice would you give them to help to ensure that their real estate stake and ownership isn't compromised during this changeover, because taxes are going up in all of these neighborhoods? So what would your advice be as far as to stay on top of those things?
Advice I would give to any families out there that own land generationally in these neighborhoods is to do everything in your power to keep this land, right? To keep these properties, whether it's vacant land or distressed houses that are falling apart, maintain the ownership. There are actually people and groups kind of like myself. I'll partner with you, right? And you can be an equity partner in keeping your property and keeping your land, because it's very important. The ownership is maintained.
Wow. No, that's okay. See, that's the deep part about it, because I don't think everyone understands how powerful that message was that you just relayed. Because how many people, Larry, reach out to you on a regular basis with questions about investing in real estate from a passive perspective?
All the time.
To be able to partner with someone like Gilbert, to be able to take advantage of appreciative values, to be able to make some profits, but not necessarily have to be hands-on in the kitchen cooking the meal.
Yeah, knowledge is everything, though. You know what I mean? Gilbert is taking the time to become amazing at his trade, but not only that, understand the small piece of giving back. That's a huge part of it, because a lot of people are not out there giving the game away. You see it, and you hear people on these platforms all day and all night, and at the end of the day, instead of partnering up with you and growing with you, they're offering you a $2,000-$3,000 course. Now, I don't have anything wrong with that if somebody wants to be hands-on, but ultimately, if you have someone that wants to benefit you, but they're going to give you the game and it's not going to cost you $300 on the back end, and then you still looking at the course, $3,000 on the back end, and you still looking at the course like, I still don't know how to do this, and you still got to come. That's the only thing I don't like, but.
No, and see, the thing about it is, because I want to give everyone who hears this interview the opportunity to change their mindset, or if they've been debating on getting involved, give them the motivation they need. So, Gilbert, why is it that you believe your phone didn't just ring in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with people who own properties in these areas to try to develop? What is it that you think is the block or the hindrance that keep people from reaching out to you?
Yeah, I think the block is just, I think, like Larry mentioned earlier, I think it's a lack of information. And then I also think there's, if we being real and keeping it 100, there's also some mistrust between us and our community. So, Larry spoke to it. I never hate on anyone that sells these courses. I don't, I personally don't. But, from my mindset, I like to pull people forward with me. Yeah. And I think we need to pull each other forward together. I understand people's time is valuable. My time is valuable. But at the end of the day, this is a very serious issue that we have to tackle.
Yeah. No, because you've shared a little bit about your background coming here from New Orleans, but I want to delve into a little bit of your background as a business person and an entrepreneur, because what Larry said that was so powerful is that there aren't as many Gilberts as you would think volunteering to educate the community as far as real estate development, entrepreneurship, and investing. So we're going to take a short break, but when I come back from our break, I want to talk to you a little bit about your background professionally, and what was that tipping point that made you just jump into the game and flourish the way that you have.
Absolutely.
I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, but we'll be right back.